My name is Nassim Saps.
Let me ask you a question. Has anything ever happened to you that you couldn't explain? That made you feel sort of foolish when you tried to tell somebody about it? Well, if it has, you have plenty of company.
You know,
As
this
you'll soon
general
see.
then reports, obviously, to Lucifer the devil. And then the general is responsible for delegating, okay, this fallen angel is responsible for delegating to the flesh and blood people what is what, okay? So it's not where, like, a human, okay, a flesh and blood man and woman, a man or a woman is in charge. This is fake. Men and women are not in charge of this whole thing here. Are you understanding me? What is in charge are non-human, okay, non-flesh and blood, meaning you can't cut them, they don't bleed, okay? It doesn't work like that. What's in charge here is fallen angels, devils, okay? So this general then delegates hybrids, okay? The way that it's set up is you have fallen angels at the top, then you have hybrid children, the children of the fallen angels right underneath. And then right underneath the hybrids, then you have flesh and blood people. Okay, so flesh and blood people are not at the top of this. Hybrid abominations. Hybrids, you can cut them and they bleed. Okay. You can kill a hybrid. But if you kill a hybrid, all that's going to happen is the hybrid's body is going to die, but then the spirit of the hybrid is going to be right where you killed them. And then the spirit is going to come after you. So you kill a hybrid dead, or the hybrid dies of old age, and then it just turns into an evil spirit, and it's just going to be roaming around as an evil spirit. Okay. Then after hybrids die, okay, and they turn into evil spirits, they have their own hierarchy. So there's a separate hierarchy for hybrids that are living, and there's a separate hierarchy for hybrids that have died and they're only spirits. And there is a kind of I don't know if enmity, kind of, but not really. There's a kind of back and forth a little bit. And so basically there's another section of the satanic military that's responsible for creating bodies for the dead the hybrids that have died, so that they can come back in a physical body again. Okay. Hybrids that have died and turned into evil spirits are responsible for hauntings. They haunt people's houses, and they are responsible for demon possessing people. They go inside of people's bodies and they can control people. Okay, so these are hybrid spirits. Okay, meaning they were once alive in a body. They were born using fallen angel genetic manipulation and whatnot. And then they die, but they want to be in a body again, because God says that these hybrids never should have even been made, and because they have been made, and that the only reason that they were made was to basically disrespect God and to curse at God. Hybrids, evil spirit hybrids, fall under a very special curse that is very bad for them. So after a hybrid, okay, hybrids are what people call aliens. Okay, they're flesh. You can kill them. They bleed. You can cut them. Okay, so these are the flesh aliens. They're actually just hybrid devils. So hybrids, when hybrids die, okay, and their spirits are cursed to not to just be there, wherever at the place of where they died, and they just roam around. They get hungrier and hungrier, but it is not a physical hunger. It is a flesh, and it's not like a flesh hunger, but it is a spiritual hunger, and the spiritual hunger is a hunger that is never satisfied. So imagine being like so hungry, it's like you feel like you're gonna die because you're so hungry. And that's all you can focus on, because like you're so hungry, you haven't eaten in so long, and it's like you're just like starving to death. Okay? But imagine being like that 24/7 and thirsty. So you're so hungry, you're so thirsty, it feels like you're just gonna die from thirst, and you're just gonna die from you feel like you're gonna die from not eating food. But imagine that feeling never going away, and imagine not being able to die from that feeling, but you always have it. Okay? And imagine the only way you can get a little bit of tiny rest, okay? The only way you can get a little bit of tiny rest, it's not even enough to really satisfy you, it just makes it slightly better, like 1% better, is you have to literally inhabit another living thing's body.
Take a trip back to civilization, Babylonian kings and ancient Mesopotamia. Research inscriptions and read translations, the myths and legends, what's fact from fiction. Depictions of giants who ruled the land, double rows of teeth and 6-fingered hands. The men of renown before the flood, where the angels fell to pollute the blood. They mingled the seed with both man and beast, and besieged the whole world with these circus freaks. They were drowned in the deluge, but once deceased, they became demon beings to corrupt beliefs. The basis of myths, these strange relations, the gods of the Greeks and the ancient pagans. They worship the sun and the moon and stars, and channel these spirits like avatars. From the Nephilim bloodlines from the fallen ones, the ancient hybrids and redhead giants have now returned like a deadly virus. From the Nephilim bloodlines from the fallen ones, the ancient hybrids and redhead giants have now returned like a deadly virus. Nimrod was the first after the flood to build a tower of bricks made of straw and mud. Exalted himself to reach the heavens, to be like God through self-ascension. Enchanted through mystical tricks and antics, he practiced witchcraft, the blackest magic. Communed with the darkest depths of the abyss, like elites and occultists within our midst. Enlisting dark spirits they know exist, and repeating perversions they can't resist. To be their own god, the first lion schism, the Luciferian definition, a false pantheon of apotheosis. The Uberman, Nirvana Gnosis, presented and channeled in pantomime through the mantis, the grays, and the serpentine. From the Nephilim bloodlines from the fallen ones, the ancient hybrids and redhead giants have now returned like a deadly virus. From the Nephilim bloodlines from the fallen ones, the ancient hybrids and redhead giants have now returned like a deadly virus. From the start of time until the end of days, there's no secrets to find or mysterious ways, hidden in plain sight, right up in our faces. Romans 1:22.
Have you ever asked God for forgiveness? That's a tough question. I don't think in terms of, I'm a religious person. Shockingly, because people are so shocked when they find this out, I'm Protestant, I'm Presbyterian, and I go to church and I love God and I love my church. And Norman Vincent Peale, the great Norman Vincent Peale was my pastor. The power of positive thinking. Everybody's heard of Norman Vincent Peale. He was so great. He would give a sermon, you never wanted to leave. Sometimes we have sermons, and every once in a while we think about leaving a little early, right, even though we're Christian. Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, Frank, would give a sermon. I'm telling you, I still remember his sermons. It was unbelievable. And what he would do is he'd bring real-life situations, modern-day situations, into the sermon. And you could listen to him all day long. When you left the church, you were disappointed that it was over. He was the greatest guy. And then, you know, he passed away, but he was a great... He wrote The Power of Positive Thinking, which is a great book.
But have you ever asked God for forgiveness?
I'm not sure I have. I just go and try and do a better job from there. I don't think so. I think if I If I do something wrong, I think I just try and make it right. I don't bring God into that picture. I don't. Now, when I take, when we go in church and when I drink my little wine, which is about the only wine I drink, and have my little cracker, I guess that's a form of asking for forgiveness. And I do that as often as possible because I feel cleansed.
Don't ever let them see you coming. That's the gaffe, my friend. You got to keep yourself small, innocuous. You be the little guy. I'm the hand of Mona Lisa's skirt. I'm a surprise, Kevin. They don't see me coming. That's what you're missing.